Hey up, how are we all doing? How are we all doing this fine Monday night? Good to see you all. Oh, I am absolutely ready for this though. Championship footy. Championship footy. Start of a new week. Monday night football. Say start of a new week, start of a new month. It's December. It's Christmas time. I've not quite got me deckies up yet though. I've not had time. And I really should have put them up today, but I've been so busy. But I am going to get them up very, very soon. I am going to get the Christmas deckies up tomorrow. So for tomorrow's live, which will be Bournemouth against Everton, by the way. Bournemouth, all I want for Christmas is top 7. Listen, all I want for Christmas is 3 points on Wednesday night against Sunderland at this moment in time. We just need to get back-to-back wins for Liverpool. Jake, Merry Christmas. Can we say Merry Christmas yet? I don't know. I still don't feel in a festive spirit just yet. Maybe tomorrow I will. Maybe in the next 24 to 48 hours I probably will start feeling a little bit festive. Oliver Dwyer, back again, Key. Brilliant start to the week with a Championship Classic. Yes, 2 teams who are in very decent form. It's got to be said. I just want to go off on the tangent that I was talking shite about Christmas and whatever. Let's be honest. We want to talk about football today. Birmingham, Watford. 2 very, very good sides. 2 sides who are in banging form. It's a bit of a mixed bag. I mean, if you look at the table, they're not actually in phenomenal form. Let's say that. Well, certainly don't look like they're in phenomenal form. One's in 11th, one's in 14th, I believe. But let me just clarify. I am actually where I'm up to on this. 1 second. Yes, so Birmingham in 11th, I thought it was. Birmingham in 11th, Watford in 14th. So Birmingham just 4 points off the playoffs. 3 wins, 1 defeat in the last 5. But they're starting to pick up a bit of form. Watford, obviously Javi Gracia back in charge again. For the 19 millionth time, it feels like Javi Gracia back in charge of the Hornets. But hey, yeah, they're in pretty strong form themselves. 3 wins, 3 draws, just 1 defeat in the last 7 games. And the only defeat that Watford have had in the last 7 games has been against Coventry, and I'll be honest, everyone's losing against Coventry, so it's not, apart from Wrexham, but it's not a bad little setup, to be honest, I think, that Watford have got going on there. So, yeah, Javi Gracia seems to be finding a bit of form with them. They've got a very decent squad. They're not a million miles away off the playoffs themselves, so they'll be quietly confident. This is kind of a 6-pointer in many ways, because Birmingham win, Watford win, whoever it might be, if either side was to pick up 3 points here, it could be transformative for the season. We could be looking at them as maybe playoff contenders. Birmingham, unbelievable year last year under the manager, comes in, gets League One Manager of the Year. He breaking records, absolutely unbelievable from Birmingham. Jay Stansfield just giving his pre-match interview here. We'll go through the lineup shortly as well. By the way, sorry, I've not even name checked anyone on TikTok and YouTube. By the way, I apologise. Technical Usman, thank you very much for the comment. Good to see you back on the live. Oliver Dwyer, good to see you as always. And Daz, big up. What's your 11 for Wednesday? Do you make changes all the same as yesterday? Probably the same as yesterday. Maybe bar Joe Gomez, because I don't think Joe Gomez can play 90 minutes back-to-back, 3 days apart after not really playing for years. So I would say we probably need to change Joe Gomez out. But other than that, all good. Right, so hang on. Let me go through the lineups because I want to look at these 2 teams. Let's get our teeth into Birmingham against Watford. Let's really get stuck into it. So, come on. Lineups tonight are as follows. Birmingham have in goal Beadle, Asai Samuel, Newman, Clara and Cochrane at the back. Doyle and Pike in midfield. Then Roberts, Stansfield, Gray and Dutch. Marvin Dutch, centre forward. He's not had I was surprised actually when he came to Birmingham. He had a half-decent season at Bremen last year. But yeah, 3 goals in 9 games. Not a bad start for the experienced striker. Eastern Red, hi Key, just decided to pop in for a little bit. I've got to go to a stream that I am a mod in. No worries, mate. Take it easy. Good to have you in as always. Nice to have you popping in. For Watford, it is Baxter in goal, Bowler left back, Pollock, Caburn and Ngakia right back, Marma in midfield with Kiprianu, Imran Louser and Tom Ince right wing, and then it's Doumbia and Kjærumgaard, the young Danish number 9, who has had a half decent start to his life, to be honest, in Hertfordshire. 4 goals in 15 games for a 22-year-old coming in fresh out of the Danish Superliga. He got 27 goals and assists in 28 games for Odense in the Danish Superliga last year. He was very, very highly thought of. Coming to Watford on loan, admittedly, but could well make it permanent. He's obviously here via Udinese, the Pozzo connection, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not they make that one permanent. Who knows? I think it's there maybe as a let's get him game time, because if he's really good, he'll go to Udinese in Serie A. But if he's very good, he might well decide to stick it with Watford in the Premier League. Who knows? Ronnie Dodge, good to see you. Adrian, good to see you. And Pidget Mar says, up the Hornets. Good to see you, mate. Good to have Watford fans in. So there you go. Home and away. Watford, 8 away games, 1 win, 8 goals, 6 points. 12% win record away from home. Home form, brilliant. 9 games, 5 wins. 15 goals, 18 points, 56%. So basically, Watford's away form isn't fantastic, but their overall form is. So I feel like we've got to take that into consideration. It's absolutely bouncing it down at St Andrews here. What a grim Monday night in December. It's a typical English December. Right, let me catch up with you all on TikTok. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you, I promise. So, on TikTok, what are we saying? Taylor, evening key, hope you're all well. This should be a good game, absolutely. And Joe, on today's game show, we're timing how long it takes him to mention Liverpool. Oh, you're so bitter. You're so bitter, Joe. For a Newcastle fan, you're such a likeable lad, but you're very bitter. Blake, how's it going? Good to see you, Blake, as always. Jaden, Newcastle will batter Tottenham at home, I'm telling you. Well, the way Tottenham are playing at the minute, yeah, you've got every chance. I mean, to be honest, I'm not surprised. Sunderland might well do us on Wednesday night. But we've got Everton Bournemouth tomorrow. The Eastern Red thinks it's going to be a Dutch double 2-1 to Birmingham. And Ronnie Dodge, I forgot, it's the World Cup group draw on Friday. Yes, 5 PM. I'm going to be live for that as well. So I'll be live on Friday, 5 o'clock for the World Cup draw. If anyone wants to join me, please feel free to do so. Will says it's amazing how these billionaires can transform a club dramatically, like Birmingham and Wrexham. And Marty says Jay Stansfield to score first Watford red card. What odds did you get for that? That's not bad at all. Nick 4660, hello key prediction. Rayo Vallecano versus Valencia. Valencia very much struggling at the foot of La Liga. Rayo Vallecano 3 points higher than them. I would fancy Rayo to get something in that one, at the very least a point. Valencia very low scorers as well. So if I was going to predict anything, I'd probably be saying Rayo or draw. Maybe under 4.5. That would be my bet builder. If I was going to do a bet on that one, it would be under 4.5, and we'll see. We'll keep you updated on that one anyway. The Eastern Red live for LFC Sunderland, yes. And Callum not doing Barca Atletico tomorrow. No, I'm doing Everton Bournemouth tomorrow. That's the big one as far as I'm concerned. Lewis Kumas on the bench as well for Birmingham. Why are you not picking him, Chris Davies? Lyndon Dykes as well. It was his birthday the other day. Right. Who've Watford got on the bench? Chakvatadze, Sissoko, Semedo, and Mendy, Morris, Abankwa, Kayembe. Yeah, okay. They've got options. Both teams have got options, I would say. Joe, how tasty was that nibble? Have that. Will says Jaden. No, Liverpool better win. I can't be bothered with another Sunderland win. And Will says, can you see Birmingham going up? Could they be in the playoffs? Well, yes. I mean, in theory, both teams here. This is basically a playoff 6-pointer. That's how I'm looking at this game. That's why it's so interesting. Not just that it's Monday Night Football and it's a championship game and championship games are brilliant this season. No, both teams could very strongly argue a case that if they were to win tonight, it would propel them up the league. Even though Watford's away form isn't fantastic, it would propel them up the league into a position that, you know, they could say, fair enough, we've got a really good chance at the playoffs here. A Watford win tonight, and it takes them 27 points, which is level with Ipswich. So, 2 points. 2 points outside the playoffs if Watford were to win tonight. Birmingham win, then they go up to 20. They go up to 7th. Actually, no, they go above them. Would they? Have they got plus goal difference? Yes. So Birmingham win tonight, and they would go above Hull. So they would be in 7th, 1 point behind Bristol. There you go. So, listen, whoever wins tonight, assuming it is a win for either side, it's an absolutely fantastic result. Given Watford's recent form, they're unbeaten in 7 games. Well, not unbeaten in 7. 6 out of their last 7, they're unbeaten. The only game they've lost is against Coventry. And Coventry are beating everyone. So Watford in really good form, or at least very difficult to beat form. 3 wins, 3 draws. Birmingham, equally, very, very decent form. Birmingham, 1 defeat in their last 5. 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. So, you know, Birmingham in decent form, especially at home here. So, Jay Stansfield's in decent form. They've got Ducks up front. Let's see. Ben, did you know at St Andrews, the cop stand is the one the camera faces, not the one behind the goal? Is that true? I didn't know that. Well, there you go. We're off anyway. We're off. Watford get us underway. Come on, let's have a big game tonight. Monday Night Football. Let's have a big game. Gary Weaver and Andy Hinchcliffe on commentary. Yeah, well, not on your channel. You've got Keith Thomas. Or maybe you have. Maybe you've got both. I don't know. 10 seconds in. 12 seconds. Let me get my clock synced up. There you go. Right, we're all synced up with Sky Sports. That is where you can watch it tonight. Watford are already having most of the ball. Down the left-hand side here. Is he going to get a corner? Jesus Christ. Well done. That's going to be a Watford throw-in, is it? No, Birmingham. Well done. 3-1 Watford, says Craig. Kieran Watt says, come on, Birmingham. And Swifty, a few Premier League clubs chasing a Watford winger. Which Watford winger? Surely it's not Tom Ince. There is Tom Ince, just as we talk about it. Yeah, Othman Mama, maybe, the Moroccan winger. Is that the one you're talking about? I mean, to be honest, Imran Louza is... I tell you what, that was a great strike from Ince, actually. Side netting. I think Beadle had it quite comfortably. It didn't look like it was going to trouble him. Ronnie says, I'm so happy that Matthias Cunha is back in training. So, back for West Ham is a big boost. Yeah, Man United, West Ham, Thursday night football. I'll be live for that. And Nick says, prediction, Bournemouth v Everton. The Cherries must win this one. They'll beat Everton. In the nicest possible way. They'll beat Everton. They will. Callum says, Bournemouth 1, Everton 1. Both inconsistent and terrible defensively. And Adrian says, goals, please. Onopermo. Oh, Rocco Vata. Oh, ex-Celtic. Rocco Vata. I didn't know. He was playing. Where is he? Why is Rocco Vata not playing? What's going on with him? Yeah, £20 million. Why is he not playing tonight? Just says inactive. There's no injury information, but it just says he's inactive. Don't know what's going on with him. Does anyone know what's going on with Rocco Vata and why he can't play? Leon Stedman. Hello, Leon. How's it going? And Jake says, all I want for Christmas is 3 points on Wednesday. Verts to score. Be yourself, Dylan. Just got back from my first day of dance residency and then got a Wagamama's for dinner. Nice. Callum says, Kieran, would you ever do a duo watch-along, like 2 games at a time? No. Mate, do you know, honestly, there's no way. I haven't got the energy for one some nights, but I still do them. 2 is you can't keep up with 2. You've got to do a game justice. You've got to be watching that game. I haven't got the attention span for 2 games all at once. I'd lose track of where we're up to. I'm watching the game. I'm interested. I'm excited in the game. I'll keep up with the chat. I'll keep up with the chat on TikTok and Twitch and YouTube and Instagram and wherever else people are watching right now. But I'm watching the game. I think if I had another game on as well, I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. Unknown Wolf, hey Key, what's up? Good to see you, mate. How's things? How's life? Swifty says maybe they've accepted a bid. Possibly, yeah, entirely. Where did you read that well, I assume you've read that Rocco Vata is wanted by them. Oh, Sky Sports coverage went down there. I thought it was the floodlights had gone off then for a second. Jake says, I don't care how good these are, but I think Birmingham to win 2-0. Well, as long as there's a goal in the game, I've got Birmingham with a 1.5 handicap. So I think any result could happen tonight, which I know is like obvious. It's not that's not really a prediction, is it? But I've got Birmingham 1.5, which basically is saying I think if Watford do nick it, they will only nick it. They'll probably win it 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. I don't think they'll smash Birmingham. They'll pinch it. And any other result is fine by me. Unknown says, gotten from the flu feeling better. Confident tonight. Go on the Blues. Well, let me know in the chat your prediction for this one. Let me know who you think, if any of these sides, could they trouble the playoff spots? Very decent form. Some talented players in both teams. Javi Gracia, since he's come back in, it feels like Watford have stepped up a notch. Because they were in a little bit of disarray. But that's kind of par for the course with Watford, isn't it? That is, they're a little bit like Chelsea in that sense, Watford. They exist in organised chaos. It feels like every time there is news on Watford, I'm hearing news. It's always, manager change, manager in danger of being sacked, key player leaving, new player potentially coming in. And they're just a constant state of flux. But they've still been up and down in the Premier League relatively often over the last 15, 20 years. So fair play to them. I'm not knocking Watford at all. Like Chelsea, they kind of break the old adage in football that you need consistency and you need rhythm and you need to... No, they just consistently get rid of managers and players quite quickly. David Black says, big win that was against West Ham. Wirtz was amazing and great for Isak to be on the score sheet too. Yes. Ball whipped in. Oh, hey, the keeper got fouled there, I think. Yeah, Baxter got fouled there. Pike was coming in, back stick. Who was it who put the cross in? Doyle. Tommy Doyle. Good ball, that. Graham Hall, it's going to be 3-2 to the Blues. And 3-Star Red says, only 23 days till the big man in the red coat and the beard arrives. And in his Greek accent, he will say at the end of the day, Mr. Neville, the result is your ban at the City ground still stands. Oh, that should be 1-0 Birmingham, that. He's a lucky, lucky boy there, Baxter. That should be 1-0. Pike at the back post. That should have been 1-0 to Birmingham off that set piece. Unlucky. 7 minutes in. Swifty says, Palace, Fulham, Atalanta and Frankfurt are all linked with Rocco Vata of Watford. I've seen him score quite a few very, very good goals for both Watford. I think he get one. Might have been for Celtic. Might have been for Celtic's academy or Celtic's reserves. I can't remember. I'm sure he played. I'm sure I've saw a goal of him in a Celtic kit where it was like, and that was one of the reasons why he was so highly rated and maybe ended up getting the move to England. But I've seen some good Rocco Vata goals. Put it that way. And he's still only young, isn't he? Whoa, what for doing at the back? Whew, I tell you what, that was very, very casual from Caban, I think it was, the Watford centre-back. But now they're down the left-hand side with Mama. No, all the way through. Unknown Wolf says, I'll have put your stream a few seconds behind on the Fire Stick tonight. 2-0 to the Blues, I reckon. Whatever works for you, mate. Whatever works for you. Good to see you anyway. And Technical Husband says today Watford win and dominate Birmingham. I mean, both teams have started all right, actually. Oh, what a ball that is. What a chance for Watford. Oh, well defended. Very well defended. Who was that? Who was that? Oh, that is some clearance in the end, actually. Newman. That is sensational. It was Mama with the pass. I think it was Bowler. Yeah, Mama with the pass. Bowler on the overlap. Oh, actually, they got very lucky. Got very lucky. It was Clara who cleared it, and Newman, it just kind of hit him and bounced behind for a corner. Very, very lucky boy. Clarky, do you think Mo Salah keeps the bench warm against Sunderland? No, I don't think so. I think Mo Salah's going to be back in the side. Jake says, remember when we beat Watford 5-3? Oh, 5-0 3 years ago when Bobby, Salah, Mane all scored on that day. I was there. Yeah, I was there. Me and my dad was watching that one. Didn't Van Dijk score that day? Fairly sure Van Dijk scored that day. I think he might have got the last goal. But the reason I remember that game so vividly is because my dad had 4-0 Liverpool. Or he might have had... I don't know if he had Firmino first goal, or Salah first goal, or Mane first... He had the first goal scorer in 4-0 Liverpool, and Van Dijk, I'm sure, got a late fifth. And he was fuming. He was the only one in the stadium and was like, no! Karim says, Birmingham winner today. And Callum says, no, Firmino hat-trick, Salah, Mane. What game am I talking about then? I'm sure that was Watford. If we beat Watford 5-0 twice at Anfield. I have to remember which one that was. I'm almost certain Virgil van Dijk scored 5-0 hat-trick, 5-0 and someone got a hat-trick. That does make sense, but I don't know. I'll try and remember the game, or I'll try and... That's the one. That's the one. 18-19 Anfield. Van Dijk scored 2 in a 5-0. That is the one. Yes. Did he score the last goal? Did he get the last goal in that one? 3-Star Red says you need to get Premier League Dad Christmas tree up in the studio key for streams. I am. Tomorrow I am getting the Christmas deckies up. I was meant to have it today, 1st of December, just to try and get us in that Christmas feel. But I don't think... I didn't have the time. So I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. Joe, it was away. Yeah, that one was, but the one where Van Dijk scores 2 was at home. That's the one Callum's on about. Karim says 0-0 half-time in this one. Let me just see if our mate Tolga's messaged. See if Tolga's messaged and let me know whether or not he's got a prediction for this one. I don't think he has. No, we've not got the Turkish supercomputer giving us his thoughts tonight. Admittedly, he was wrong on the last 3, so... Callum says Origi or Verge scored the last one. I think it was Origi. Sorry, I think it was Verge, but you could be right. I remember Verge got 2, and we won 5-0 at Anfield against Watford. Right, Watford, Bowler clears it away. That's nice and easy. Sam, still frustrated about the performance yesterday. Chelsea were all over us, even with 10 men. Still not a bad result, though. Listen, I don't agree with DT on very much, but I will say this. He was right in that you probably look back on that at the end of the season and think, it's a point gain, that. Chelsea away, Stamford Bridge. It's never an easy place to go. Doesn't matter how bad Chelsea are. If you get a point at Stamford Bridge, you take it and move on. I know they were down to 10 men, and yes, it's not great. The performance isn't brilliant, but they were without Gabriel, they were without Saliba. Makes a difference, and yeah, Arsenal can lick their wounds and they'll come away with a point. They'll be happy enough with that. Clarkey says Chris Davies was assistant manager to Brendan Rodgers at Celtic. He was also assistant manager to Ange Postecoglou at Spurs, wasn't he? That's where he came from to join Birmingham. Yeah, that's the one then. That is the one. Ben, evening Key. Hope you're well, mate. Last day of work tomorrow, then off to New York. Whoa, check you out. Nice. How long are you in New York for? That's amazing. Watford chance. Oh, big save. Unlucky. It was straight at him, to be fair, that. Didn't quite get his... didn't quite connect with it. It was more of a side foot. Feel like you needed to put your laces through that. But good play by Watford. And it was straight at the keeper. Yeah, New York. The city that never sleeps. Nice. It's a beautiful place. Try and go to Madison Square Garden if you can. That's one of the best things I've ever done, that, going to Madison Square Garden and watching a game. Jake, my prediction for Wednesday is 3-2 to us. Isak double, Vert, and for them, Lefay and Brobby. If they score 2 against us at Anfield, I'll be raging. And that's nothing to do with Sunderland. I just think we need to start being a bit better at limiting chances, keeping clean sheets. The clean sheet was the best bit of yesterday against West Ham. They didn't really have a chance. Especially how gutted, how poor we've been defensively. West Ham will have been gutted not to at least get one. Ben, 5 nights, mate, never been to the US. Tip for you, when you get there, into wherever you're flying to. I think we flew into JFK. No, we did fly into JFK. There's obviously Newark and whatever, but when you get there, whatever you do when you're stood in line, waiting to get go through passport control, put your phone in your pocket. That might seem like a really simple thing, but put your phone in your pocket. Don't be sat on your phone while you're in immigration. While you're in a queue, you're probably in a queue for a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe longer. Who knows? You might just breeze through. But whatever you do, don't be stood there on your phone, because you'll get a dude walking up to you with a gun, screaming in your face. And that's not... I didn't get screamed at, but there was plenty of people around me who did. So, just for the sake of a nice, calm, after-flight experience, phone in your pocket, do it when you get out of the airport. Here's Birmingham, stood up. Nah. Straight out of play. Pike again. It's absolutely bouncing it down. It's absolutely bouncing it down there in Birmingham. Mark J, never joke with US Customs. Yeah, no, absolutely do not joke with US Customs. Just very, very nice, very polite. But don't get your phone out in the immigration line. It's like a capital offence over there. It literally, this never happened when I was there, but my mate swears blind that when it happened to him, they took the phone off this guy and confiscated it and said, "You're not, no." And it was like a big kerfuffle. Just snatched the phone out of this guy's hand. So I don't know. How true that is, I don't know. Ben, I shall have phone in pocket. Thanks for the advice, sir. Yeah, definitely. And if I can recommend a few things to go and do, don't bother with the Eiffel Tower. Definitely don't bother with the Eiffel Tower in New York. It's quite a walk. Don't bother with the Empire State Building or Rockefeller, Top of the Rock. It's garbage. I mean, it's something you do while you're there, I guess. But Statue of Liberty, bit of a waste of time. It's tiny, and it's like a full boat trip and a day out. It's crap once you're there. Nothing really on that island. The best things to do: Madison Square Garden, go to the Minkoff Theatre, take her to a show at the Minkoff Theatre. We went and watched The Lion King at the Minkoff Theatre. It's one of the best things I've ever seen. And I'd never even seen The Lion King, the film, up to that point. Birmingham, straight at the keeper. So yeah, take her to the Minkoff. Take her to... Take her to Ground Zero. That's definitely... That's a, it's quite a sombre place. Go and have a look at the World Trade Center and all that stuff. Go and have a look at Don't bother with Wall Street either. You go to Wall Street, you have your picture took in front of Wall Street, like the sign, and then that's it. There's no else there. It's the financial district. There's just loads of guys in suits. It's crap. So don't bother with that. Natural History Museum's good, because that is literally like night at the museum. That's cool. 3-star Reds, is that because of 9/11? I don't know, mate. I have no idea why it is. They just don't like it. They just don't like it, and they kick off. Callum, waking up in New York City is so good. The views are beautiful. Good luck coming back to grey England after. Well, it's not particularly pleasant weather-wise there now anyway. But it's going to be nice. That'll be really nice, that, mate. Enjoy it. It'll be lovely. Adrian Birder, what about the Ground Zero Museum? Yeah, you can go to the Ground Zero Museum. I get it, it depends what you're into. Depends what you're into. Oh, that was a bit naughty. Is that going to be a yellow card? Could be a yellow card for Watford here. I mean, they're looking at a red, to be fair. I think the Birmingham players are screaming for a red card. It's not a red. It's not a red. It's not a red card. The ball's there to be won. The referee's going to have a look at it. I don't know why. Don't know if that should influence his decision at all. It's not a red card. It's just not a red card. It's going to be a yellow card. There you go. Yeah, yellow card for Watford. The ball just bounced up and it was like waist height, I would say. It was like waist height and they both went in. And it's... Let's just watch this back. Yeah, no, you can't... That's not a yellow card for me. That's not even a yellow card. I know he goes in studs up, but I don't think he connects with the player, does he? He's going for the ball. That's a... I mean, yeah, maybe. Cipriano it is, who's got a yellow card here for Watford. My MK13 says, good evening, Key. Good to see you. How's it going, mate? And Mark J says, baseball at the Yankee Stadium is good. Yeah. I wouldn't have minded doing that. See, we never went to... what's it called? Is it Yankee Park? Yeah, we never... I don't think it is Yankee Park. I don't know what it's called. But we never went to the baseball stadium anyway. We went to Madison Square Garden and we watched the New York Rangers against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And it cost me... I think it cost me about $700 for 2 tickets. I don't know if I got fleeced or if that was just normal American ticketing prices, because they are pretty expensive in the US. But when I got them and I walked in, I was saying to the missus at the time, who isn't my wife now, but I went and we was walking through to where the thing is, and I was like, oh, we'll probably be up in the gods somewhere, to be honest, love. Walked out, we were about 2 rows back from the rink, and we were on the big screen and everything. We were sat behind some basketball legend. I don't know who it is. I don't know what he's Larry something. Larry something. He was like an NBA legend. I don't know. I don't follow the basketball, but Larry something, NBA legend. He was sat literally in front of us. Ben says there's 6 of us going. Don't even know the other things we've booked onto. I just transferred the money for it. Well, hey, just go and enjoy it, mate. It's a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Unknown Wolf says, nah, never a red. He made a legitimate attempt to win the ball. Yeah, I'd say so too. I didn't think that was a red. I wouldn't have said it was a yellow either. Birmingham chance, though, should be. Oh, is it in? Oh, what a save that is. What a save from Baxter. Oh, how's he missed? I feel like he's got a score there. Is he on... I mean, to be honest, they don't have offsides in the Championship. That's one of the beauties of the Championship, isn't it? It's a lovely quick free kick routine from Birmingham. The ball comes over to the far post. And who is it who gets contact on it at the back stick? I think it's an own goal, it would have been. It would have been an own goal. It was the Watford defender who kind of got a touch on it, but Baxter pushes it wide. Really, really big save. And now, Birmingham, 20 minutes in, they've missed 2 big chances now. Drax D. Blackburn says, what's the score? You can see the score right... No, this one. This side. This side. You can see it right there. That's the score. 0-0. Birmingham 0, Watford 0. Is anyone close to scoring yet? Birmingham have missed 2... I don't want to say sitters, but they probably are sitters. At least one of them was a sitter, but they've had 2 very good chances, Birmingham, in the opening 20 minutes. Watford, they've worked Beadle, but not really... Yeah, not really tested him. They've had a couple of chances that have gone just wide or kind of straight at him. Whereas Birmingham have had a couple of really clear chances. They're coming forward here now again. Good defending from Caban. Drax says, I need to know, Key, do you think there will be a goal at half-time? There's usually no goals at half-time. Do you mean a goal before half-time? Or a goal after half-time? I assume you mean a goal before half-time, but no, there's not a before half-time. I would say no. I think it's probably more likely to be 0-0 before half-time, mate. Callum, go to the hood, the Bronx. Yeah, we did that as well. That wasn't very clever. We did that as well. Bologna losing 1-0 to Cremonese. Oh, no. Is it 2? Oh, my God. Arsenal 1. Do you have an Arsenal jersey? I do have an Arsenal jersey, yes. I have the yellow and blue. I don't know what year it was. Maybe 2008. The one that Arshavin scored 4 in at Anfield. That one. Yeah, we ended up in the Bronx. Oh no, it wasn't the Bronx. Where was it? Harlem. We ended up in Harlem. That's where we was, which is yeah, bad. No wonder Key acts so gangster. Thug life, mate. Thug life. Mr. Luke Etherington, Liverpool to beat Sunderland 2-0 on Wednesday. And Reece says, don't worry, Key. Some Broadway shows are about $1,000 per ticket. To be honest, the Minkoff one, the Lion King, was only about, I don't know, maybe about $150 for the 2 tickets. And that was well worth it. That was wicked. But then, yeah, it was about $700. I'm not even kidding. It was about $700 for 2 tickets. Because I just walked up to Madison Square Garden and I was like, right, when's the next game? And she was like, oh, there's one tomorrow night. It's New York Rangers against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I was like, oh, cool. Have you got any tickets available? She was like, yeah. Right, what tickets have you got? Well, we've only got really these. These are available, this section. All right, fine, yeah, no worries. How much? $700. And yeah, when you pay a fortune and go to New York anyway. So I was just kind of like, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Might as well be. MK13, Larry Bird. Larry Bird, yeah, that makes sense. Is Larry Bird... Wasn't Larry Bird in Space Jam? Let me have a look at him. Larry Bird. Is he a black fella? No, it's not him. No, it's not him. He's not white. And he was in Space Jam. Larry Bird was in Space Jam. No, this guy wasn't. His name was Larry, but he didn't look like that. No. Strike from Birmingham, straight down the keeper's throat. Reece, that was Michael Jordan. I remember all of them in Space Jam. Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Muggsy. Don't know who else. I think that was it, to be honest, wasn't it? Space Jam, top tier movie. That, yeah, it is unreal. Not the second one though. The one with LeBron James is garbage. I'm talking back in the day. The OG Space Jam. Will's Wizard Boss says, is James Beadle the future England keeper? I mean, he's probably up there. Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of competition though, hasn't he? Because you think about Trafford. I mean, how old's Trafford? James Beadle is 21. James Trafford is 24, 23. He's not going to get in front of James Trafford. Unless, because I imagine now, Trafford's going to leave City, isn't he? Trafford's made the move to City, and then immediately I feel like City have gone, we made a mistake. He's going to go out on loan somewhere. He's made a massive error not going to Newcastle. Be yourself, Dylan. Jake Paul is fighting AJ in December. It's going to be over quickly. They'll already have agreed the result in that. Honestly, boxing now is basically wrestling. It's as scripted as it gets. Callum says, have you bought a new shirt recently? A footy shirt? I've not bought new footy shirts for a couple of months, actually. And I used to be borderline addicted. But I've seen some really good ones. I saw a Cruzeiro shirt, 1994, I think it was. Blue, really nice top. Goliath, evening key, good to see you, Goliath. How's things? How are you feeling after the Arsenal results? Unknown Wolf says, I think Beadle can be a goalkeeper for England. He's got the saves for it. He just needs to be a bit more consistent. I'm sure he will be. He's a good player, Beadle, but I guess it just depends. Oh, what a turn that was from Bowler. And Watford are in. Strike! Oh, all the way back out to Bowler. Stood up far post. No, good defending from Birmingham in the end. Watford are putting him under pressure. Callum says, Vinted are the best 4 shirts for me, as long as they are authentic. Yeah, they've got to be authentic, but Vinted, to be honest, you get some blags on Vinted as well now. You get all them. That's why. Do you know what? How many people... There's a certain sponsor that is sponsoring pretty much every football content creator now. And it is just blag footy jerseys. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I don't know. I find it really difficult to take the money from them. Because it is just blag footy jerseys, isn't it? Jaden says, do you think any Liverpool players should get sold in January? Depends how they adapt between now and January. Probably Alexis McAllister, yeah. Will's Wizard Boss says, why did he make the move to City? I think it's because he thought he would be the number 1. And I think he would have been the number 1. Until City maybe decided after the Brighton game, where he made a couple of mistakes and he didn't cover himself in glory in the Spurs game. I think Pep Guardiola quickly realised, no, we need to get a backup here. So yeah, Donnarumma, and now Donnarumma's there. He isn't going anywhere, is he? Trafford's not getting a kick. Unless Donnarumma gets a big injury. Donnarumma's City starting keeper. It's Danny says, prediction for Liverpool v Sunderland. Can't believe Saturday result against Bournemouth. Great result, wasn't it, for Sunderland? Strike for Birmingham. It's 1-0 and it's Pike. There you go. It's 1-0 Birmingham. And it's honestly, he's the thumbnail cover today. Pike with a goal and Birmingham take the lead before half time. In a soggy, wet, awful night at St Andrews. Birmingham are in front. Big goal. Good finish this, actually. No Pike, no party, says CJ. Ball got played in. It was well recycled. Watford lose it. It's honestly shocking from... who is it who loses that in the middle? Oh, it's a great strike. Edge of the area. But who is it who loses it in the middle for Watford? It's Cipriano. It's Cipriano who... He's already on a yellow card. They just stand off him. They just stand off him. It's so poor. Cipriano, he loses it in the middle of the park. Pike strides forward and then right-footed smashes it into the corner. No chance for Baxter. Birmingham 1, Watford 0. What a goal. Goliath, I'm okay. Would have taken a draw beforehand. A part of me is a little disappointed we couldn't take 10 men. But I don't think many teams will take points from the bridge. Yeah, we was just saying that. I think just before you came on, mate. We was just saying that a point at Chelsea... No matter the circumstances, doesn't matter. That's a really good result, isn't it? You take that and move on. That's not going to be the reason. If Arsenal lose the title this season, if they don't win it, it's not going to be because of a point they dropped at Stamford Bridge. Now, can Watford get back into this is the question, because they've done all right in this game. There's still time before half-time that they could affect things, but they've had chances. They've created enough that you could say... I think they could affect the game positively, definitely. We've not really seen much of Ince or Doumbia. I mean, Lauser's not really getting on the ball. Unknown Wall says, get in. I was waiting for you. I knew you was 2 minutes behind. I was waiting for you to come in. Pike does it again, yeah. Been a good signing for you, hasn't he? Very, very good signing. From John Buck Hyundai Motors. I'll tell you what, that's some scouting, to be fair. Played over 50 games for Birmingham last season. And he's made the step up to the Championship with relative ease. 3 goals in his first 16 appearances. It's not bad for a deeper lying midfielder, is it? Right, Birmingham have got a throw on the left-hand side here. Cochrane throws it in. Chance! Ooh, who was that? Oh, it was Roberts. Patrick Roberts. Didn't even know he was still there. He's bounced around a little bit. Shocking from Cipriano. I don't know how... Look at him. Do you know what? You would I can't believe he has got the gall. He has got the brass neck to turn around to the referee and go like that and scream and shout at the referee as if he was fouled there. He wasn't, was he? There was nothing wrong with that at all. There was nothing wrong with that. Drax, how did they score? Pike with a 20-yard great strike into the bottom corner. Watford gave the ball away in midfield. Just gave the ball away, and then Pike started strolling towards goal and then smashed it in the bottom corner. Really good goal. Good finish. Unknown Wolf says, oh, without a doubt, always happy to see Pike starting. And Goliath says, as a result... So, result at the weekend, what's your thoughts on the Sunderland match? Sunderland are probably the one side we don't want to play at this moment in time. I feel like we could get up for, like, if it was an Arsenal or an Everton or a Chelsea or a United or, you know, we could or a City. I feel like now, the way Liverpool are at this moment in time, I feel like we could get up for that sort of a game at Anfield, because same as we did with Real Madrid, we can sort of rise to the occasion against a really good side. But Sunderland are newly promoted. They have no business being above the champions at this stage in the season, do they? And that's a massive compliment to them, by the way. They have no business. Like, nobody would have said a third of the way into the season Sunderland are going to be above Liverpool. You'd have been like, pfft. But Liverpool have had a massive fall off, and Sunderland must have been doing incredibly well. And that is kind of what's happened. But still, Liverpool win tomorrow. We're basically back in the top 4. Sunderland will just see it as a free hit. It's not tomorrow, Wednesday. Sunderland will just see it as a free hit, won't they? They'll just look at it and go, well, I mean, if we lose, we go to Anfield, we lose, then we would probably expect it to go there and lose because it's the champions, and of course you go there and lose. But imagine if we go there and get a point. Imagine if we go to Anfield and like 60 minutes in, Birmingham chance. Should have been 2, that. Yeah, imagine that's what Regis Labris will be saying to him. Imagine we go there and it's like on 60, 70 minutes, it's level. They'll be shitting themselves. They'll be absolutely panicking. So, it's kind of like a no-win situation for Liverpool, that game. Same as Forest. It's a no-win situation, because if we win, and PSV, if we win, then, yeah, well done. You beat Sunderland at home. Well done. Well done for beating a newly promoted side at home. Like, yeah, well done, Liverpool. So you've got to win. And not only do you have to win convincingly as well. A scrappy 1-0 at Anfield will not be tolerated tomorrow. Arne Slot will get criticism if it's a scrappy 1-0 win. Whereas a scrappy 1-0... I know it finished 2-0, but that was basically a scrappy 1-0 away win against West Ham, wasn't it? So a scrappy 1-0 win away is fine in the context. Scrappy 1-0 win at home against Sunderland... People will still be asking questions and saying, yeah, well, it was a shit performance and blah, blah, blah. Goliath says, do you see any changes from the team that started at the weekend? Probably Joe Gomez drops out because he's not played back-to-back games for years. And he's apparently having injections in his knee to try and get through games. Watford chance. Oh, that's poor. That's very, very poor from Bowler. Probably the last person they wanted that to fall to. On the edge of the box, opportunity for Watford to have a strike. Same sort of distance that Pike scored from. And there was no one around him. and he gets it wildly wrong. It was closer to the corner flag. So yeah, I think Joe Gomez, even though he was probably our man of the match against West Ham, he probably has to drop out. Because imagine he starts him and he gets injured, then we have no fit centre-backs other than Van Dijk and Kanate for maybe the foreseeable future. It's a disaster. So Joe Gomez cannot possibly get injured. We can't allow him to get injured. So for that reason, I'd probably take him out. It feels like an unnecessary risk. It's Luke says, do you think Tom Ince has had an underwhelming career or just name hype when young? Well, he has had an underwhelming career in the sense that how highly thought of he was when he came through at Liverpool. We all thought he was like this wonder kid. But then we've had loads of wonder kids at Liverpool who never quite made it. I remember Christian Nemeth. I remember Neil Mellor. I remember Craig Linfield. I remember Emiliano Insua. The only one that we could say we actually had a genuine wonder kid on our hand is Michael Owen, Raheem Sterling. Even Steven Gerrard wasn't necessarily considered a wonder kid at the time. Robbie Fowler was. But Gerrard wasn't even considered a wonder kid. He came through with a crop of, like, a few of them. David Thompson, players like that. Jaden says, do you think Harvey Elliott will be Salah's replacement? No. No, Harvey Elliott doesn't play for Liverpool again. He doesn't kick a ball for us again. Joe says they've already got Europe key, so they'll just be on the beach. Easy win for you. They've already got Europe. Goliath says, "Call that's some names." Who Liverpool's? What Liverpool's track record of wonder kids? Yeah, we've had a few. Nathan Eccleston was another one. He was a wonder kid. Jordan Ibe, Jerome Sinclair. Jerome Sinclair played for what? We signed him from Watford, didn't we? And then I think he might have even gone back to Watford. Well, any Watford fans in the chat, let me know about Jerome Sinclair. But Liverpool, given we're talking about wonder kids who didn't make it, Jerome Sinclair feels appropriate. Because he was Bobby Big Boots at the time. Whoa, whoa, could be on for a red card here. Referee, I tell you what, that was maybe a headbutt. Who was that? Is that Stansfield? Referee's miles away. The referee is absolutely miles away. It was Stansfield and... Is it Bowler? Is it Stansfield and Bowler or Stansfield and Caban? Who is it? Who has the... I don't know who has the tussle in the end, but anyway, basically the ball gets played over the top and the referee's already blown, but Stansfield's chasing it down, and because he goes in for the tackle even though the referee's blown up, the Watford player reacts and he doesn't like it. Does not like it. It was in Ngakia, sorry. Yeah, it was in Ngakia, not Caban. Oh, he blew up for the head injury. That's so pathetic, that. That's just one of them things that would never have happened back in the day, would it? Free kick and the ball hits him in the head. I mean, I know you have to have concussion, protocol and stuff like that, but that just seems really silly to me. Does that not seem silly to you? That we're stopping the game over that? Oh, great play from Birmingham. That's wonderful play from Stansfield. Exceptional. And here's Damari Gray. Chance for Birmingham. What a goal that is. 2-0. Damari Gray. Fabulous finish. That's an absolute screamer. Great play from Stansfield as well. Fully deserved. That was brilliant. And now, Watford are really up against it. They've got pretty poor away form as it is and pretty poor goal record away from home. They're going to have to score 2 second half to try and get back into this. At minimum 2, without letting Birmingham concede. Score. Goliath says, what was your take in the Chelsea red card? Do you think Nkapia is lucky to stay on in our game? Chelsea red card was a red card. Nkapia should have stayed on. There's no issue with Nkapia. I have no problem with him doing that. This was brilliant play. Absolutely sensational from Stansfield. I will say the Watford centre-back commits himself far, far too early, Caban. He pushes out and Stansfield just puts it through his legs. It's a good pass into Stansfield and Watford are just completely exposed. And Gracia tucks into centre-back and then all of a sudden they're all over the place. The centre-back's at right-back and Gracia isn't centre-back. They're all over the place, Watford. And Demarai Gray just just cuts in on that right foot and whips it top corner, right in the top postage stamp. Absolutely brilliant from Demarai Gray. 4 goals this season. Back at Birmingham. Demarai Gray 2. Puts Birmingham 2-0 up. Fabulous finish. And now it's starting to get a little bit lively. Now you've got Watford players going down under challenges from Birmingham players and there's kind of like, it's getting a little bit like Chelsea and Arsenal was yesterday. They're just saying, hang on a minute, ref, come on, give him a card. Oh, that wasn't, that was accidental. That wasn't nasty. There was nothing malicious in that. Mama goes down and they're just showing this Demarai Gray goal back. That is just beautiful to see. Right from behind the goal. Oh, absolutely fantastic finish. Unknown Wolf says Stansfield needs anger management. It's not even the first time. Some finished that. And It's Luke says you'd sell McAllister. Yes, I would sell Alexis McAllister. Absolutely. Within a heartbeat. He's been the worst player of the season for us. Comfortably. Comfortably Liverpool's worst player. Reece says, I do think it's a great point for Arsenal. Chelsea played incredibly well against us. And Jaden, have you made your Premier League predictions yet? I haven't, no. It's Luke's... we've done that one, sorry. It's Luke says, seems like Emery is trying to not let Elliott get the appearances for the buy clause. Elliott might be back if that's the case. And Viking Killer says score. The score for this one is Birmingham 2, Watford 0. It's Luke says, do you think Mac is a long-term drop-off though, not just out of form? Well, he's been bad now, mate, for bar one game. Literally one game is all I can remember Alexis McAllister playing, like, back to the levels we'd expect of him. And the rest of the time, he's not just been average. He's not just been like, meh. He's been bad. He's been actively bad. Like, I can live with him putting in, 6 out of 10s. 6 out of 10s every week. You'd look at him and say, oh, he's not quite at his best, McAllister, you know. He's not doing all right. But he's dropping 4s. He's having bad minutes and, like, costing us goals. I just feel he's that bad for us at the minute. And I would drop him in a heartbeat. That's why I said before the West Ham game, if Arne Slot picks Alexis McAllister, we've got to win. Because even then, the people who are defending Arne Slot, including myself, will start to think, I'm sorry, yeah, you're making a rod for your own back here, mate. Right, we've got 3 minutes of added on time at the end of the first half. We're a minute and a half already through them. Birmingham 2, Watford 0. They'll be absolutely delighted, Chris Davies, with that. Beadle knocks it long up the pitch. Easy peasy. It's Luke says, I think he was brilliant last year, like in contention for top 5 in his position. Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. He was brilliant. He was sensational. For me, Alexis McAllister last year was, probably top 3, maybe even top 5. I don't know, world rankings in his central midfield position. There wasn't many better. World Cup winning midfielder, very experienced. He's been elite for us for 2-3 years now. And then all of a sudden, and I do think there's something in it, right? What's the one game he's had phenomenal this season? The one game where he's been banged back to his best, biting into every tackle, great passing, great range of passing, getting forward, scoring goals. Real Madrid. Who's he been linked to all summer? It might be something in that, I think. Just the fact that he's turning up against Real Madrid and then doesn't bother with the rest of the season. The Indie Panchi says Emery doesn't want Elliott. Career wasted. Championship player at best. He's not a championship player, mate. Harvey Elliott is a very, very tidy player, but he needs regular minutes to keep showing it. And the problem is, Villa are not going to give him that because they know they have to pay 35 million for him. But when he's been at Liverpool, I really liked Harvey Elliott. The problem for Harvey Elliott is his best position is Mo Salah's position. So he's never, ever got a run of games at Liverpool. And he never will. He never will. He's not good enough to replace Salah. That doesn't mean he's shite. It just means he's not world class. But Harvey Elliott could go and be a top quality player at a Brighton or a Newcastle or a Villa. He could be one at a Villa under a different manager. Half time here. It's 2-0. That's the whistle blown. 3-star Reds. Is there a half time quiz, Keith? There isn't, mate. Not tonight. I've not prepared one. We're just going to talk away and chunner away. I can try and find some bits, but no, generally I've not prepared. Genuinely, I've not prepared anything for tonight, for half time. It's Luke says, thought he was good fit for Palace when Eze went. Yeah, I thought that as well. I would have been surprised he didn't get looked at by Palace. He fits that role, doesn't he? I mean, Pino's a good signing for Palace too, so yeah, but I feel like Harvey Elliott can do everything Pino can. Unknown Wool says, no complaints about the game so far, 2-0. Yeah, great scoreline for Birmingham, isn't it? And It's Luke says, Elliott is a Prem player. He's small, but he should still do all right. Jaden, I was trying to get coins for this live off another live and the live ended. Hey, don't worry about it, Jaden. It's all good. Always just good to have you in here, mate. That's the main thing. But yeah, I think McAllister, he's not right. He's not right. Right, so Birmingham, Watford fans, what changes would you make, if any? Looking at this team, looking at the lineups you've got, looking at the options on the bench, if you're Watford, I mean, do you maybe bring someone who's a bit more experienced in the middle, someone like a Musa Sissoko to come in and just try and get Watford back on the ball, back sort of, I don't know, a bit of discipline in midfield. Cipriano has been booked. He's conceded the important first goal for you. You've got to. I feel like he's got to come off. I feel like there's definitely a change there for Watford with Cipriano, whether that be for Sissoko or another. I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. You could maybe switch it around a little bit. I mean, Chakvetadze's kind of more of an advanced sort of number 10, isn't he? Kind of plays in the pockets, doesn't he, Chakvetadze? So you could maybe put him in. Cipriano's a bit more of a deeper lying player, so I don't think he works, does he? Chakvetadze alongside Imran Louser probably doesn't work at all. But something needs to change. Maybe it's Sissoko for Cipriano. I'd probably look at taking one of the centre forwards off as well, because Doumbia and Kerungard, they're just not working either. So yeah, something has to change, and my take would be probably Chakvetadze on for Doumbia. Yeah, Chakvetadze on for Doumbia. Drop him into midfield, into that sort of number 10. Put Sissoko on for Cipriano. That would be my approach. Just to shore up the midfield, get an extra body in there, start to dominate the ball a little bit, start to win possession, because at the minute, Doyle and Pike are having an absolute breeze in the middle of the park there. Unknown Wolf says, I'm pretty happy with the team so far, no changes, but if Stansfield doesn't keep a level head, Kyogo could come on mid-second half. Game suited to Kyogo, isn't it? He'll get a lot of space second half, you would imagine. Suits a player like that. Yeah, Kyogo could be good. Lewis Koumas as well. I mean, I'd like to see Lewis Koumas. As a Liverpool fan, I really like Lewis Koumas. Thought he did really well at Stoke last year. I'd like to see him get more opportunities at Birmingham. I know he's not necessarily done brilliant with the limited chances he's had, but I'd like to see him get more chances, because I feel like there is a player there with Lewis Koumas. Jay, that Gray goal was very good. It was, Jay. It was fantastic. And Mini McTominay, super Lyndon Dykes. He's on the bench, yeah, Lyndon Dykes. Could see Lyndon Dykes second half, maybe, if Birmingham decided to go a bit longer. A bit more direct. Possibly. So, tomorrow night. In fact, you know what? Let's keep this championship related, right? Because we've talked about the Premier League a fair bit, haven't we, in this first half. So, championship related on Friday night. There is another big match which I'm covering, and it is Hull v Middlesbrough, Friday night, 8 o'clock. Hull v Borough, that feels like a very, very big game. Two teams who are Borough second, Hull in 8th. By the time they've played, Hull could be up to 3rd. Yeah? Hull could be up to 3rd above Millwall. Borough, if they were to win, they'd be within 7 points of Coventry again. Unknown Wolf says Kumas can move the ball pretty well, to be fair. He's a really, really talented player. He's quick. He's, good use of the ball. I feel like he's got another level to go up as well. And just a bit disappointed that he wasn't playing a bit more regularly for Birmingham. He's had 13 appearances so far, not scored or created, so you could argue the manager's justified in not playing him. But still a young player, still a lot of growing to do. But he'd be a really, really talented player for someone one day, I think, Lewis Kumas. Mini McTominay says, I am Scottish, and, good, great to see. I mean, you guys are in the World Cup. We're doing the World Cup draw on Friday on this channel, so if you want to watch along with us for the World Cup draw, Friday, 5 o'clock, I'll be live for that. And Jake says, thoughts on Liverpool and the Sunderland match on Wednesday. I think Liverpool will hopefully, please bounce back with a back-to-back win and keep a clean sheet at Anfield. So, I'm going to go for a scrappy win. Sunderland will play well. Hopefully we get a clean sheet. Keep it 1-0. I'd love it if we just breezed past them 3 or 4-0, but that might be asking a bit too much. So, I would snatch your hand off now, with pleasure, with a big smile on my face, for a scrappy 1-0 win, where it bounces in off Granit Xhaka's face in the 94th minute, and Liverpool win 1-0. I'd quite happily take that. Something tells me Joe would take that as well. I think you'd quite like that, wouldn't you, Joe? Newcastle fan Joe would be delighted with a finish like that at Anfield on Wednesday night. Right, second half coming up. We'll see. Has there been any changes? I'm still torn. Honestly, I'm really torn on who is going to make the Championship playoff places this year. I feel like it's the same in League One. It's the same in League Two. And this is why English football is brilliant. This is why I love watching the Premier League, League One, Championship, National League, League Two. It doesn't matter. The full football pyramid, they're all brilliant and they're all so tight. And I know it's still early in the season and you'll say, well, it's always like this. It isn't. Not this tight. Not this tight. It's so condensed where you've literally got like 3 points, 4 points separating about 12 teams from the playoffs down to about 14th in the Championship. And I'm still torn on who exactly will make it. Wrexham aren't a million miles away. If Hull were to beat Borough on Friday, you'd probably have to throw their hat in it. Millwall got a big win the other day against Wednesday. They're in third as it stands. Borough second, but something tells me I don't think Borough make it. I don't think Borough make the playoffs. And they've done well this season, but I'm not sure. I think the upheaval with Rob Edwards going and the new manager coming in, I feel like it's gonna dent them a little bit. They were all right against Coventry though the other night. We watched Coventry Borough. It was a good game. Joe finally supporting Liverpool, and of course it's against Sunderland. AC at St Andrews right now. Great atmosphere tonight. Nice. Well, great to have you on the channel, mate, and wonderful performance so far from Birmingham. 2-0 up. Goliath says, best leagues in the world, in my biased opinion. You don't get anywhere else in football in like the 5th or 6th tier packed stadiums. Doesn't happen really anywhere else in the world. It's a cultural thing in England. Reese says Kevin Keegan won the Ballon d'Or twice while playing for which German club? Hamburg. That's easy peasy, that one. 3-Star Red says the best thing that ever happened to the domestic. To the domestic? What happened to the domestic? And yeah, as well, what else was going to say? Top scorers so far in the Championship. So Thomas Asante is top. Then it's Morris. Then it's Gelhardt. Joe Gelhardt at Hull. He's flying. He's absolutely flying. Got the winner for Hull against Stoke the other day. He's got 11 goals and assists in 18 games so far. Still only 23. Has he found his level? Because there was so much expected of Joe Gelhardt when he came through. I remember at Wigan, so much expected of him. And obviously Leeds have only loaned him to Hull, so he's going to go back to Leeds at some point. 3-Star Reds was when they incorporated the National League, yeah. And Callum says November 2019, Liverpool first, second City, 9 points between them. December 2025, there's 9 points between 9th and 1st. The league is way more competitive these days. Well, is it way more competitive, or have the top teams fallen off? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's only Arsenal maintaining that standard now. I feel like City and Liverpool are far, far less consistent than we ever were before. And because of that now, you're seeing the bottom sides pick up far more results. There used to be, not that long ago, three very, very good teams in this league. Now there's really only one. Liverpool and City are not top quality teams that will win a league title this season. They're just not. They're not. I'm convinced now that it's Arsenal's. Callum says the small sides have spent way better. Well, Sunderland have spent bigger. They've certainly spent more. Whether they've spent better, I guess we'll see long term. Jake says, in my opinion, the Championship is the second best league in the world. And Amir says, as a Borough fan, if we can't get one of our strikers firing, we have a chance. If we can get one of our strikers firing, we have a chance at second. Honestly, Amir, I think you might struggle for the playoffs if you don't start scoring goals. It feels like Borough have been built on really, really good, organised defensive work, and you've been a really solid side all season. And obviously the new manager comes in, you concede 4 against Coventry, that's no bad thing. Coventry are a great side at the minute. But I feel like the scoring goals is a real problem for Borough. It's a real problem. So yeah, I know what you're saying, if you can get one of your strikers scoring goals, but that's the ultimate thing, isn't it? That's the ultimate challenge. You look at Borough, they've scored, 24 goals? 24 goals in 18 games, and that's less than, like, Southampton. It's less than Derby. And, it's like an average, that's like an average goal-scoring output in the Championship. Goliath says, which Liverpool player holds the unique distinction of scoring their one and only goal for the club in a major cup final? That is Antonio Nunes, if I'm not mistaken. And my dad was there. I gave my dad my ticket. It was at Cardiff, wasn't it? It was the same game where Steven Gerrard scored an own goal. We was 1-0 in front. John Arnorisa smashed it in volley after about 40 seconds. 1-0 up in the first minute. And then, Gerrard own goal late in the game. Took us to extra time. Chelsea then went and scored 2 more. I think Kesman got 1. Drogba might have got the other. And it was 3-1. And then Antonio Nunes got 1 back. Have I got that about right? I'm pretty sure that's the order of things. Anyway, I'm not sure if it was Drogba, but Kesman definitely scored. Matthias Kesman, whatever happened to him? Speaking of PSV, he was a good player for PSV, wasn't he? Graham Hall says top 6 teams this season will be Coventry, Brum, Southampton, Ipswich, Stoke, and Wrexham in any order. You think Wrexham could make the playoffs? Well, no, they can. They absolutely can make the playoffs. Just whether or not they will, I guess. Callum says Bournemouth, Palace, Sunderland, Brighton, Villa. Yeah, well, I mean, they're spending... Do you know what it is with Brighton and Sunderland and Bournemouth? I feel like they're still doing the whole Moneyball thing. They're not necessarily signing players for right now. They're signing players because they know that in 2 seasons, max, those players will be sold on for double what they've brought them in at. So they've done it with Kirkes, they've done it with Hyson, they've done it with Zabarnyi, and they're doing it now with Truffert. Truffert will probably go to an Arsenal, a City, or a Man United, or someone like that with big money when they need a left back. Truffert will move on. What's the centre back's name? Nedeljanovic or whatever his name is. I forget his surname exactly. But it's a long-winded Nedeljanovic or something like that. He's brilliant. I really like him, and I just can't pronounce his surname. Adrian Berder says Vardy has scored twice for Cremonese, and I need Bologna to win that as well. Or no, I've got Bologna 1.5. So as long as Bologna get back in the game, I'm good. Amir says, to be fair, we are now, which is good. Hackney coming clutch. He is Prem bound. Well, is he Prem bound with Borough? That's the question. What's that? What is that? I don't even know what that is. Oh. I have no idea. Sorry. Right, we're off for the second half. Come on. There you go. We're all synced up again. Barcelona v Atletico prediction. Mine's 2-2. I think Barca will win that one quite comfortably. I know they were poor against Chelsea, but I think they'll do them. I think 2-0 or 3-1. I know Atletico aren't a bad side, but they're not the side they was. Reese says, which country won the first ever UEFA European Championship in 1960? Ooh, France? No, it isn't France. I don't think it is France, because I'm sure France won their first in... I don't know. Go on, who was it? Who was it? You've tested me. I don't know. It's slightly before my time, that one. Christ. Goliath, which Liverpool player holds the club record for scoring the quickest Premier League hat-trick at Anfield, achieving the feat in just 4 minutes 33 seconds? Robbie Fowler against Arsenal, 1996, I think. Robbie Fowler, Arsenal, 1996, 4 minutes 33 seconds. Scored it past David Seaman. Absolutely brilliant. Keown and Adams at the back, the old Arsenal offside trap. Amir says, hopefully he is. I'd love us to go up. Haven't seen us in the Prem in years. Oh, nearly 3-0 for Birmingham. Good strike from distance, and I think it just deflected. It was Tommy Doyle with a volley, and I think Jay Stansfield got a touch on it and went over the bar. Birmingham starting the faster. It's looking more likely it's going to be 3-0 than 2-1. I think he might have been offside there. Reece, Soviet Union. Was it really? Soviet Union. Do you know what? And I have heard that before. Soviet Union, yeah. Goliath, 94. But impressive. I didn't think it was that early. To be fair, that's a bit of a cheat, that me answering that question, because I'm telling you, mate, I could tell you pretty much every goal Robbie Fowler... I could reenact every goal Robbie Fowler scored for you that season. Or for his first couple of seasons, to be honest. I had a video, a VHS, that my dad bought for me called Robbie Fowler's Hot 100. And it's his first 100 goals for Liverpool. And, I mean, I wore that tape out. I was watching it constantly. He was my hero growing up, Robbie Fowler. So, I can tell. His first goals were against Jim Stannard. Jim Stannard, the Fulham goalkeeper. Scored his first goal for Liverpool in the League Cup against Fulham, then got 5 in the second leg at Anfield. That's how good Fowler was. Absolutely unbelievable player. Like 17 years old, knocking 6 in against Fulham. Just would never have seen it. Jake, I told you it was going to be 2-0 to Birmingham. You're peaking too soon, Jake. You're peaking too soon, mate, because there's still another 45 minutes to go. This could be 2-2, could be 3-2 Watford, could be 6-0 Birmingham, could be anything yet. Goliath, how old are you, Key? I am 35 years of age. Ball switched over to the far side. Watford chance. Oh, big save from Beadle. Watch out, Beadle's about. It was Bowler on the left-hand side. That was a really good save, actually, that. Floated over from Ince. Bowler takes it. Good first touch. Good strike. And it was on target. It needed saving, that. Good save from Beadle. Tips it over the bar. So it's a corner to Watford. Corner to the Hornets. Louser goes over to take it. He's some player, him. I really like him, Imran Louser. Very, very cultured midfielder. Stands it up, far post. And is it going to be another one? Another corner? Yeah. Straight back out. Goliath, yeah, I didn't appreciate Fowler until later on. Honestly, he was so good. Still the best I've seen. That's handball, is it? No, corner. It's going to be a corner to Watford. I thought he might have got a handball for that. Yeah, still the best young centre forward I've seen. Which I know is people will be like, what? But he absolutely was. Watford headed back in again. It's a bit of head tennis around the edge of the box here, and it's straight out for a goal kick. Poor in the end from Tom Ince. That. How old is he now, Tom Ince? He's got to be getting on. Christ, he was coming through when Roy Hodgson was Liverpool manager. He's got to be absolutely minimum 33. 33? I love it. That was pure luck, but it was, yeah, there you go. On the money, I'll take it. Jake says, trust me, if I got Isak to score yesterday, this will be 2-0 to Birmingham. Look at that. Luka Kjærumgaard has got 8 touches in this game so far. Now, where do you stand on this, right? Because if you're a centre-forward and you've only had 8 touches of the ball in nearly an hour of football, is that you're occupying the centre-backs? Is he following instructions and doing that? Or would you expect your centre-forward to drop in and maybe go and sort of get involved a bit more? Oh, Watford are in here. Now they'll have a chance. They could make it 2-1. It's going to be a block and a corner. Good block at the back. Demarai Gray getting back. Absolutely fantastic. And the Scrum Down Live says, evening, Key. Are you doing the Coupe de Monde draw on Friday? I am indeed, mate. Yes, I am live 5 o'clock Friday. Or is it 4:30 Friday I'll be live for the World Cup group stage draw. So if you want to join me for that, please make sure you do. Ball whipped in. Header. Oh, it's all the way over to the far side for Ngakia to recycle it. Stood up far post and all the way through for a goal kick. Poor. Very poor. Scrum Down Live. I've just come back from Manchester Markets paying top whack for steak fries. Last time I paid that kind of brass was down Wembley. Yeah, Wembley's bad. About 18 quid for a hot dog down there, isn't it? Goliath says, do you play FPL? And if so, how many points do you currently have? Not meaningfully. I've set up a team, mate. I've got a team. We had a league. We had a league on when we started. But honestly, we didn't really get many people playing it. And the league has since become a bit redundant. Because I stopped playing it. I stopped playing after like 3 games. I forgot to change my team. And once I'd forgot to change my team once or twice, I was just like, oh, I can't be bothered. So basically, the team that I picked right at the start of the season is still running now. I have no idea how many points I've got. I'll have a look. I'll tell you now. I'm pretty sure I can log in. Let me see if I can log in and find it. Right, accept all. Let's have a see. Can I log in and find it? Yeah, I don't think it's having it. For whatever reason, it wasn't letting me log in. Is it going to let me log in now? Let me try with that. Continue. If it'll let me log in, I'll tell you. Oh, here we go. Squad selection. Oh, no. I haven't. No. It won't even let me pick it on that account. So, no, I've logged into a different account. I must have it from somewhere else. Birmingham should score. Oh, shocking. Shocking. Goliath, it's so easy to forget a week. I've forgot far more than just a week now. I've let it run for like months without touching it. So I might be top of the league. I don't know. I might be top. Be yourself, Dylan. Are you doing the Everton game tomorrow? I am, mate. Yes, I am. I'm live for Everton tomorrow. I'm live for Liverpool on Wednesday. I'm live for United West Ham on Thursday. And I'm live for Hull against Middlesbrough on Friday. Plus, I'm live for the World Cup draw on Friday. So we've got 2 lives Friday. World Cup draw, followed shortly after by Hull against Borough. Jake, that's how many touches our strikers get per game. What? Liverpool's? Yeah, but I think that's systematic though. That's like Slot wants him to occupy the centre backs a little bit, doesn't he? He wants him to stay forward, keep the centre backs occupied. Don't drift out, because if you drift out, then you end up taking up the spaces that Wirtz did really well in yesterday. So we need you to stay up with the centre backs. Watford pushing forward down the left-hand side now. Watford getting back into this, it looks like. Certainly feels like they're dominating a little bit more in this second half and starting to create some chances. Goliath, Core, you are busy. You are married, right? I am indeed. Married man, yes. Married man. But to be fair, you say, I see her all day. It's great. We spend all day working together, basically. She works at home, I work at home. And then I'll go and pick my little girl up. We'll spend a couple of hours together. I'll put my little girl to bed and I'll say, right, I'm going watching the footy with the lads on Premier League Dad. So it's good. It's all good fun. It's a nice little life. I'm happy anyway. Reece, you got 37 points this week, Key. 13th place. Fucking hell. Yeah, so not great then. Oh, that's shocking from Watford. And that's a foul. That's going to be a foul. Birmingham free kick. Tommy Doyle. Good play. Jake, do you like my profile picture? Hate it, Jake. Absolutely hate it. Despise it. I'm kidding. It's very nice, yes. Be yourself, Dylan. I got 101 points from the weekend just being. Very nice. I just don't. I always forget. I just forget to play it. I've not played it in literally months. So, whatever team I first picked, that's what I've still got. Empty says, thoughts on our ex-coach at his new gig. Who's our ex-coach? Who are you talking about? Because you're a Club Bruges fan, aren't you, Empty? So whose ex-coach are we talking about? You have to be a little bit more specific. Right, couple of changes here for Watford. As we approach the hour mark. MT says, Philippe Clement. Philippe Clement. Is it Norwich? Is it Norwich now, isn't he? Thoughts on him? He didn't do great at Rangers. I don't know. Norwich are a bit up and down as well, so I've no idea, mate. I imagine Danny Farker will probably be back at Norwich before long. Watford, good ball in. Chance! Oh, should score! Should be 2-1. Mama at the back stick. Really should be 2-1 that. So unlucky. Raj Singh says come back stronger, what? Well, it was a great ball in from Ngakia, I think. And, yeah, it's a fabulous cross in. And you can't really ask for much more than that. Mama is not a very happy boy. Ince is off for, is it Chakvatadze come on? I think it is. Yep, Chakvatadze's come on for Ince. Cipriano off for Kayembe. And Kierumgaard off for Semedo. Not a surprise to see Kierumgaard go. He's not had the best of nights. Like I say, 8-9 touches at best. So, difficult night for him. And Gaki is raging as well. And Cipriano, a very bad night for Cipriano. Really bad night for Cipriano. Be Yourself Dylan says, you reminded me of that song, first lyrics to the song, Mama Told Me Not to Waste My Life. Mama Told Me Not to Waste My Life. What song's that? That's, Dylan. Now I've got to... Mama Told Me Not to Waste My Life. I know that, but I don't know what song it is now. Mama Told Me Not to Waste My Life. Oh, I'm going to have to find out what that is. MT says Rangers recruitment was also shit. I think he's a decent coach, not fantastic. He always picks his favourites, not the best players. I mean, that could be levelled at a number of coaches, in fairness. And yeah, a number of coaches will have their favourites and pick them no matter what. And it's something that fans use to have a pop at every coach. Yeah, even coaches who've done wonderfully well, like Oliver Glasner, gets loads of stick from Palace fans for his incessant picking of Mateta. He refuses to drop Mateta. And Palace fans don't like... And you think, like, of all fan bases, the fan base that would be most happy at this moment in time would be Palace fans, right? Watford chance! It's there! It's 2-1! Watford are back in it! Watford are back in it! It's the man who missed a big chance just a few minutes ago. Mama, a wonderful move down the left-hand side. And there you go, Watford back in it after barely 15 minutes of the second half. There you go. 2-1, game on. 2-1 and game on. It's a great pass. Chakvatadze, fantastic ball from Bowler. And a great... Do you know what? And should Beadle do better there? Am I being harsh? Bowler with a lovely ball back. And Mama now a little bit more central. Or at least coming in off the right. I think he might have been coming in off the right. Yeah, Bowler with the assist, Mama with a strike, just off the penalty spot maybe, and yeah, there you go, 2-1. Great goal. Mama's now gone over to the right-hand side. He's been on the left-hand side all night. Tom Ince has gone off. Chakvatadze's come on. Mama has moved over to the right-hand side. Chakvatadze going to play off the left. And Rodri Goated says, why would he drop Mateta? Well, the Palace fans seem to want him to drop Mateta because not drop him, but I think they more rotate him, but they're not happy with Mateta can play badly and miss loads of chances. We had Jordan. Jordan's one of our regular Palace fans in the chat for the United game the other day, and you would think Mateta's like a fan favourite, and he is. But Jordan and quite a few other Palace fans have said Glasner's really got to drop in. They've got to take him out. They've got to take him out because he takes like 5, 6, 7 clear chances to score one goal. He's not very clinical according to Palace fans. And the reason he's not very clinical is because Glasner keeps playing him continuously, doesn't put Nketiah in. Palace fans want to see Nketiah. They want him playing more so that it gives Mateta a rest. I don't necessarily think they're like fuming with Mateta. It's more that he keeps getting played. Even when he plays shit, he plays again the next game. And they've got it. That's the time when they want him to put Nketiah in. Because if Nketiah came in, Mateta would maybe get, I don't know, he'd get a kick up the arse. He'd start to be a little bit sharper because he's not playing every minute of every game. But I really like Mateta, but Palace fans' big gripe is He's not very clinical. He needs 5 or 6 clear chances to score one. And he's Glasner's boy. He is Glasner's favourite. So he gets a lot of stick. Empty says, I like Watford for selling us Solis. Yeah, Christos Solis. He's played well for Bruges, hasn't he? Did well in the Rangers game, certainly. Jake says, mate, like Slot, he always starts all of his favourite players. Like Salah, Kanate and Virgil. I don't think that's anything to do with Slot, though. They're just 3 world-class players, and we haven't really got anyone in the squad who can compare to those 3. So I think any other manager would do the same with those. ABC says, who needs 5 chances to score? Mateta. Jean-Philippe Mateta is not very clinical. This is according to Palace fans themselves, who we were talking about players and managers having their favourite players. That's what we were on about. ABC123, is Kanate world class? That's a stretch. What do you mean, is Kanate world class, mate? He's a starting centre-back for France, and Real Madrid and PSG want him. And he's playing for the current champions. I don't know what your definition is of world class, but I would say world class probably extends to the top 5, 10 centre-backs in the world. And whatever you think of Kanate, he's definitely in the top 10 centre-backs in the world. Whatever you think of him, as bad as he's been this season, Real Madrid and PSG don't target players like that if they're bad, if they're not world class. Adam says Beadle took half an hour to get down to that, the weakest link. Well, he's still only 21, isn't he, Beadle? You've got to give him, a little bit of a leash for that, I guess. But yeah, I thought Beadle could have done a bit better there. Joe says, I don't think Voltemada is clinical, but I still blooming love him. And Jake says, Voltemada contributes in so many other ways, doesn't he? And Jake says, no, Madrid do not want Kanate. Romano said it. But hang on a minute. Just because Romano said it doesn't mean it's true. Let's be honest. Just because Romano said it doesn't mean it's true. There's rumours that Kanate is wanted by PSG, and that's who he's waiting for. So, and to be honest, he said in interviews previously that he'd like to play in France before he finishes. He'd like to go back and play in France. So, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising if he went and played for PSG and that's who he was waiting for. Now, if Real Madrid and PSG both wanted him and he had said, well, now I want to go to PSG, I prefer PSG, Real Madrid would do what Real Madrid do, which is release statements to the press saying, actually, we never wanted him. We're not interested in him. Why? Because that protects their brand. That's the right thing. That's what they do all the time. That's the media spin from Real Madrid. ABC says, is he a starting centre-back for France? Yes, he's a starting centre-back for France. He's absolutely a starting centre-back for France. Ben Hughes says, would you rate Liverpool's Torres before injuries ahead of Haaland? No, not even close. Not even close. Not even close. And Empty says, dropping the stars is also not a solution because then fans complain they're not being played. ABC says, world class is thrown around pretty easily these days. Wouldn't get in the City or Arsenal side. But so that's your definition of world class. See, for me, world class, I guess everyone's different in terms of what is and what isn't world class. Everyone's got their own criteria. For me, I would say it's if you're in the top 5 to 10 in your position in the world. If you're in the top 10, I'd say you're world class. Top 10, you're generally considered. You know, most teams would have you. I think Kanate would absolutely be someone that Arsenal would look at, and absolutely would be someone that City would look at. Absolutely he would be. 3-Star Red says, a quick early Christmas quiz. Everton, Forest, Liverpool, Newcastle. Name the players to those clubs whose names are linked to Christmas. Oh, God. Newcastle, Players linked to Christmas. Jesus Christ. Give me some time. Give me some time. I have to write that down. ABC says, I thought most Liverpool fans didn't rate Canate, to be honest. I mean, yeah, if you're just talking about in the last, 3 months, yeah. If you're only talking about in the last 3 months, then yeah, loads of Liverpool fans, most Liverpool fans don't rate him. Because he's leaving at the end of the season to Real Madrid or PSG. So, yeah, of course Liverpool fans don't rate him. But if you ask Liverpool fans last season, if you ask Liverpool fans any time at all before July, August, if you'd have said to any Liverpool fan before July and August, is Canate one of the best centre-backs we've ever had at Liverpool in the last 30 years? Absolutely, comfortably. He's brilliant. But now, he started the season poorly because it's quite obvious that he's off. And yeah, he's had a few wobbles, he's had a few moments, he's not been in form this season at all. And that's pretty normal once a player's decided. Once they've mentally checked out, it's fairly normal that players start to make errors and mistakes. But yeah, Canate, he was man of the match for us in the Champions League final. He's absolutely unbelievable. There's not a centre-forward, really, that I have ever seen, bully him physically. For pace, physicality, he wins everything. He wins every duel, pretty much. I've never seen... The only thing that Canate is guilty of at times is being a little bit too rash. He's a little bit too rash. MT says, Kusanov or Canate? I mean, that's not even a serious question, Kusanov or Canate. Goliath, I'm not a fan of Canate, but I don't think that's fair to say he isn't world class. I mean, he is. Listen, it's a nonsense opinion. That is an absolute nonsense opinion from a rival fan to say he's not world class. We can all have a discussion about Canate and say whether or not he's, how good is he? That's fine. But to say he's not world class is just stupid. That's not even. You can't even take that opinion seriously. Can't even take that seriously. Canate absolutely falls into the bracket, whatever your definition might be. Unless your definition is top 3 centre backs. If it's top 3, then fine, he's not world class. But for me, it's top 5 to 10 positions, and I think that's loose enough that it allows for reasonable players to be included. But it's tight enough that it's not everyone and anyone. Harry Sinclair, hey Key, I agree with your definition of world class. Question: do you rate Van Nistelrooy over Haaland? I personally think Van Nistelrooy would score more than Haaland in the same team. I think Van Nistelrooy was a better centre-forward up here. I think he had better movement. His movement was his best bit. Van Nistelrooy was unbelievable. He was absolutely unbelievable. He was a great finisher, but you just couldn't. He was so good at losing centre-backs, and he would kind of walk for a little bit and then just turn on, and you'd lose. He was so good. He was so good, Van Nistelrooy. Haaland is just a beast. Haaland isn't a particularly sophisticated centre forward. He's just. Do you know what it is? I feel like Haaland is a pretty, okay centre forward, like a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10. Technically, he's a good centre forward. He's I think Jermaine Defoe technically is probably better than Haaland, but he's half his size and nowhere near as strong and nowhere near as quick. And in this modern game of football, speed, height, physicality, strength matters an awful lot. So yes, Haaland I think is an absolute monster. Put him back 30 years, I don't know if he'd be the same player. 20 years, 25 years. But then you could say the same. Look how good Matt Le Tissier was. Put Matt Le Tissier in the modern Premier League. I don't think he gets a game. I don't think he gets on the bench. Matt Le Tissier, one of the greatest players we've ever seen in the Premier League in the 90s. He was an absolute genius with the ball. Technically, up here. But physically, he looked like me a lot of the time. ABC, is he really in the top 10 centre-backs in the world? Well, name me 10 better centre-backs than Canate. You'll be stretching. Come the end, you'll be absolutely stretching. Name me 10 that you can reasonably argue are better than Konate. And I probably will agree with you on. I mean, if we're just talking this season, then there's probably about 50. You could probably name 50 to 60 better than him. And that's just in England. That's including the Championship. You could name loads better than him this season. But if we've got to have a longer frame of reference, you've got to look at it over the last couple of years. So I'm not having that. Konate over the last 3, 4, 5 years has been astonishing. Absolutely brilliant. Be yourself, Dylan. Sergio Ramos isn't playing. Goliath says Shearer for me is still one of the top natural finishes ever. How funny. I was showing my son a Letitia video yesterday. Yeah, Letitia was incredible. He was great. Absolutely brilliant. Malik Chow. Right, hang on a minute. ABC says Saliba, Gabriel, Gvardiol, Diaz, Gueye, Kabasi, Lenormand, Rudiger, Marquinhos, Kim. Seriously? Kim Min-jae. You're going to put Kim Min-jae ahead of Konate. You're off your head, mate. You don't watch footy. You don't watch footy. Bayern fans want him gone. Long gone. Kim Min-jae is not better than Konate. He's not even in the same league. They're not even in the same league. Gay is also not better than Konate. Like, he's just not. He's absolutely not. Goliath, I just asked Gemini for the top 10 centre-backs in the current game, and Konate was in that list. Well, I can understand. That probably makes sense from a... Let's ask... Well, go on, I'll tell you what. We'll ask EA. We'll ask FIFA. See what the data says on this. Right? So... I'm not using this... Oh, Birmingham chance. No, nearly 3-1. If we're just looking at centre-backs... The top 10 centre-backs in world football, according to FIFA, is Van Dijk, top, Gabriel, Saliba, Bastoni, Jonathan Tah, Marquinhos, Pacho, Konate, Schlotterbeck, Ruben Dias. There you go. So Konate is in the top 10 according to FIFA. If we're gonna go down that route. Empty says Gvardiol, Gay, Saliba, Gabriel, Diaz, Virgil, Pacho, Marquinhos, Maguire, Ordonez. Listen, Ordonez is not better than Konate, mate. Come on. Oh, I like him. Joel Ordonez is a good player, and he will do good things in the game, but he's not Konate. Again, people are getting well ahead of themselves. And this is what I was saying, mate. Ultimately, let's bring it back here, right? Let's get on the same page. I still said to you, by the end of that 10, by the end of that list, you're stretching, right? So you're getting to like 7. You're getting to like 7, and you're starting to reach at that point. You're putting in like Kim Min-jae, and these aren't players who, with the greatest of respect, are better than Konate. They're just not. Ben says Schlotterbeck would be good in the... Well, Schlotterbeck is one of the players Liverpool are targeting. ABC says, you haven't given me a list, just asked for one and slated it. What do you mean I haven't given you a list? I've just talked you through a load of centre-backs, and I don't think Van Dijk is better... Sorry, I don't think Konate is worse than 10 of the players in that list that have been mentioned to me. So I would still say, by my definition at the very least, Konate, even based on his form this season, I still think Konate is top 10. I don't think you're getting beyond 10 players. Harry Sinclair says, fun story, a guy called Mitchell Duke, played up front for Australia, has kids that live near me, and I won't say for obvious reasons. He said Konate is a monster and rates him a lot. He is. He is. Konate is the Erling Haaland of centre-backs. He's quicker than everyone else. He's stronger than everyone else. He wins every aerial duel going. The guy is a monster. He is a monster. He's a freak at the back in defence. But he's also a little bit, rash this season. A little bit reckless at times. MT says, also think Romero from Tottenham is better. Ask Tottenham fans. Again, I don't think they'd be saying Romero. Van der Ven's very good, but also I wouldn't say Van der Ven's better than Canate. Clarky, Harry Maguire's better than Canate and you know it. Have a day off. Have a day off. Well, we're into the last 10 minutes here at St Andrews. This game has kind of fizzled out a little bit. Since that Watford goal, Birmingham are now up to 7th if they can hang on to a win. Up to now, it feels like as soon as Watford scored, Birmingham just went, dropped the shutters. Reece says, Jesus, not the Romero shout. Christ on a bike. Romero, Harry Maguire, we've had a fair few. Adam says Gay could be top 10 if he was at a top Champions League club. Well, maybe. He'd have to prove himself, though. He's not proved himself at that level, has he? Oh, Jesus Christ. What's going on, Key? For fuck's sake, I'm going to have to hold this up all night now. Oh, for God's sake. Sweet Lord. Look at the state of this now. I'm going to have to hold this up for 10 minutes. Look at the state. Lucky Singh says Birmingham doing well. And Empty says Maguire is, though. No problem with that. No, listen, Harry Maguire is not. Harry Maguire is absolutely not. Right, hang on a second. What is going on here? What am I doing? Excuse me, because this is doing my Sweden now. There you go. I think I've fixed it. Right, there we go. We're back on. Sorry. 3-star Red, you don't get this shoddiness on Match of the Day. You don't, do you? It's absolutely appalling. You're supposed to be a professional. Oh, come on, Key. Sort yourself out. There you go. That's a bit better. We'll deal with it like that. There you go. Stop tugging in the box, man. Do you know what it is? There's like a little... Samoa says, hey, Key, still struggling with the microphone. I say, I am now. Do you know what it was? It's one of them things where it's like, there's the table, and it's got like a little thing on it, and you have to just tighten it so it like clamps on it. And for whatever reason, it just switched off and wouldn't work. Trust me to do it while it's live. Jake says, name top 10 centre-backs in the world. We've just done it, Jake. We've just done it. ABC, who else are world class for Liverpool? I'm interested. Van Dijk, Alisson, Salah, Isak, Wirtz, Gravenberch. Probably McAllister. I mean, McAllister is. I think you're looking at McAllister, Gravenberch, Miraculously, I don't think Szoboszlai is, even though he's been our best player this season. I'd say Gravenberch, Szoboszlai. Sorry, Gravenberch, Wirtz, McAllister, Isak, Salah, Van Dijk, Kanate, Alisson. There you go. ABC says top 10 in the world or more so. No, top 10. I'm pretty consistent, mate. I'm very intellectually consistent on that one point. For me, world class is kind of top 5, top 10 in that position. I can get on board with your world class. 3-star Reds, I wouldn't mind that kind of shoddiness on Match of the Day, though, if it shut Rooney, Shearer and Micah Richards up. Ekatike isn't world class, no. Very good player though. He started to play well, but he's not world class. Adam says, will we ever see the Leverkusen version of Wirtz in the Prem next 5 years? Yeah, of course. I mean, do you know what? I feel like I'm a bit despondent at the lack of patience from a lot of people. Again, people seem to, whether it's just rivals taking joy in the fact that he's not coming and immediately hit the ground running. He's a young player. The vast majority of players who come to the Premier League, especially young players, they take about a year to settle in. There's loads of players that have over the years. Absolutely loads. That's why you can't be too critical of whatever Sesko or Voltemada. Voltemada started well too, but even Tierno, Barry, a lot of young players who are coming to the Prem, and it's it's just, again, it's a lot. It's all driven by the media, isn't it? Ultimately. Harry says, Kirkes, based on your definition, or just based on I don't think that there's many good left-backs. I wouldn't say Kirkes is top 5 or top 10 left-backs in the world. I think he's a very young, inexperienced... He's a very talented player, massive talent, and could go on to be top 3, maybe even best left-back in the world. He could be. He's fantastic. But right now, no, he's not top 10. He's just a really talented young player. How are you making that top 10? What are we on about? How are we making that top 10? Adam says, no, Sesko is washed. He saw Havertz play once and decided he couldn't compete with that. And ABC says, Gravenberch and Maka are classed as holding midfielders. No, they're not holding midfielders. They're just central midfield. I mean, Gravenberch's playing as a holding midfielder this season and having an absolute shocker. McAllister played kind of like a holding midfielder last season and wasn't brilliant, but we won the league. McAllister's a World Cup winner. He's a really, really consistent, solid midfielder for us for many years. And then this season, he's really, really fell off. But again, I think if Liverpool was to say tomorrow, Alexis McAllister is available for transfer, I think you'd have City, I think you'd have Arsenal, I think you would have Real Madrid, I think you would have Barcelona, I think you'd have all those clubs knocking on the door for him. So, that would be me. MT says, De Kuiper also still adapting to the league, but was great at the weekend. He scored, didn't he, as well, De Kuiper, against Forest. Adam says, Pat Roberts has been a revelation for Birmingham on the right. Do you think so tonight? I don't think Roberts has done an awful lot. He's worked hard. He has worked hard. He's put his foot in and stuff, but I don't think the quality's necessarily been there for Birmingham tonight, apart from, look, the big moments, right? Pike and Demarai Gray, 2 great goals. Watford certainly gave the first away, but other than that, I think it's just been like a workman-like performance from Birmingham. They've deserved to win, no doubt about that. ABC says, okay, I can give you 10 better than them as a 6 or 8. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, whatever, go for it. 3-star Red says, what is the streaming list for the rest of the week, Key? Rest of the weeks, we've got we've got Bournemouth against Everton tomorrow. We've got Liverpool v Sunderland Wednesday. Thursday, we're doing Man United against West Ham. Friday, we are doing the World Cup draw at 5 o'clock, the World Cup group stage draw, and then Friday night, we're doing Hull against Middlesbrough. So, back to the Championship. Start the week on the Championship, finish the weekdays in the Championship as well. So, we'll be watching Hull against Borough on Friday night. Football debate, top 10 centre-backs. Name your picks. We've just done it, mate. We've spent all night talking about that. Watford, standing up to the far post. We're coming into injury time now. We're approaching the last few big minutes at St Andrews. Watford on the attack. Can they get an equaliser? They're just working the ball nicely around the edge of the box here. And now it's going all the way back to the goalkeeper, I think. Don't forget, if you are new around here, please do consider, if you like watch-alongs, if you like football watch-alongs, I do more than any other channel. More than any other channel. I've done more than 500 watch-alongs in 2025. We're nearly at 600 across more than 40 leagues and competitions across the world. So, Championship, League 1, League 2, National League, Premier League. We do a bit of everything. All the big European nights. We do leagues from around Europe as well. All the big internationals, all the qualifiers. I'm live every single day. So if you like that sort of thing, if that's your thing, my name's Key. I'd love it if you gave me a follow. I'd love it if you subscribed. And I'd love it even more if you clicked like on the video as well. So I think I got those the wrong way around. I'd love it if you like it. I'd love it even more if you subscribed. But either way, thank you very much for everyone that's been commenting and liking and everything tonight. 3 minutes of injury time. That's what we've got. I thought there'd be a touch more than that. And Birmingham are wasting some time already. They're bringing a sub on. Sub's coming on. Who is it who's coming on? Is it Lyndon Dykes? No. Stansfield's going off. And he's trudging off very, very slowly. Be yourself, Dylan. Thank you very much for the gift. ABC says, kicked me out. Kicked what out? I've not kicked you out. Kicked me out? I've not kicked you out. 3-star Reds, are you covering Everton Forest at the weekend? Do you know what? I don't know. I have no idea what. I've not done the weekend games yet. I've not planned ahead for the weekend games. I've only done up to Friday nights. Jake says, what are you doing on Saturday? Because I won't be there because I'm busy. Oh, why does it matter to you then? You won't be here. Goliath says, my fave watch-along channel for sure, and I'm not even a Liverpool fan. Hey, that's coming from an Arsenal fan as well. Cheers, Goliath. Thank you very much, mate. And Harry Sinclair says, what do you think about Elliot Anderson? Personally, based on the price, Forest want 120. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be interested in watching him, in taking him at 120, but I think there's a price that I don't think it is 120 personally. I don't think Forest would command 120 for him, and even if they would command it, they wouldn't get it for him. And I guess it depends ultimately how much pressure Elliot Anderson is prepared to put on Nottingham Forest, because player power always wins. If Elliot Anderson takes the route that Alexander Isak did, which is, listen, I don't want to play for you anymore, and you know what? Since you're being a bit of a prick about the price, I'm just starting to feel a bit of a pain in my back. Bit of a back strain. Oof. Notoriously hard to diagnose, those back strains. Physios can't detect them. Scans can't detect them, but they're there. I've got a bit of a... I don't think I can play this weekend, boss. Back strain. It's what happens. It's what happens. ABC. Christ, first one. First one, you've got it wrong. Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez. You started off Enzo Fernandez. Chelsea fans don't rate Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez is better than Gravenberch and McAllister. You're having a laugh. McAllister's dog shit this season. I wouldn't put Enzo Fernandez in ahead of him. He's shocking. Enzo Fernandez is terrible. We have Chelsea... Mate, I speak to... I'm not even kidding. I speak to hundreds of Chelsea fans on here. I can't tell you how many have told me that Enzo Fernandez is so frustrating. He's so annoying. Like, if they could, I reckon they'd upgrade. 100 million for him is shocking. They absolutely do not rate him anywhere near as much as you do, put it that way. 3-star Reds, would you ever consider a 24-hour live football stream for charity? I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to. Well, there's a charity stream along for Mind, I think it is. I'm sure it's something like, it's not 24 hours. I think it's 12, or it might be 15 hours. A 15-hour stream. So I was looking at doing something like that for Mind. Here we go. Watford stood up to the far post. All the way out to the far side. This is a big chance for Watford at the end. If they can get it back in, they've got not... Oh, that's handball, ref. That's handball, ref. That's got to be handball. How's he not give that? How's he not give that? That's going to be a free kick. Referees had an absolute shocker there. That should have been a free kick to Watford. Should have been a free kick to Watford. ABC says you went with Maka because of the World Cup. Remember who his midfield partner was? No, I didn't go with Maka because of the World Cup. That's you changing the picture. That's you changing the narrative to suit your argument. What I said is that he's a World Cup winner. I didn't say that was why I think he's world class. Just being a World Cup winner doesn't make you world class. There's plenty of shit players who won a World Cup. Same as there is plenty of players who won a Champions League or multiple Champions Leagues who aren't very good. It's not necessarily reflective of that. I'm just saying that's one tiny aspect. Right, it's full time here. Full time. Birmingham 2, Watford 1. Pike and Demari Gray with 2 first half goals to put them in charge. 2-0. Watford came back into it in the second half and they started to dominate a little bit more. Couple of half chances. Watford they may think they was a little bit unlucky. On the day, I think they might have had a different chance. I mean, Watford are screaming at the referee here. I think they're still upset at that final decision not to give a handball. But it wouldn't have changed it. I don't think that would have changed the game. It would have given them an opportunity to put the ball in the box. It would have only been a free kick. But Sissoko pleading Watford's case. The game's ended. And there you go. 2-1. Harry Sinclair, what's your day job, Key? This, believe it or not, I quit my job, sold my business, quit my job to do this for a living. Hey, yeah, I said I'd give it a year, see how it goes, and we'll see if it's worthwhile sticking it out. So it's going to be a year in January. So in January, if I'm not doing all right from it, the channel might just disappear overnight. Who knows? ABC says this season's been fantastic, seems to have settled now after Chelsea had too many changes. Well, like I said, I think we'll disagree on Enzo Fernandez. He's one of the ones, absolutely. ABC, has it been worthwhile? Absolutely, it's always... Mate, listen, if you can watch football for a living, absolutely. I get to speak to lovely people like you about shite like we've talked about for the last half hour about who the best centre-backs are and whatever. It's a good laugh. It's a good laugh, and it is enjoyable. And yes, I'd love to make a reasonable living out of it. But that's not the reason you do it. Ultimately, you do it because it's your passion. I love watching games of football. And I don't think I'd have been able to watch 500 plus games, watching the Icelandic League, the Latvian League. I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't love a game of football. 3-star Reds, another evening of great entertainment. See you tomorrow to do it all over again. Yes, good to see you again, 3-star Reds, as always. One of our regulars. We'll see you tomorrow night for Everton Bournemouth, maybe, if you're back for that one. ABC, what did you used to do? I worked in advertising, primarily. I had an advertising business. I did that for many years. I worked with football clubs. Brighton was one of my clients for many years. Love doing that as well, but it's not quite the same as watching footy for a living. Jake says, watching footy is all I do nowadays. And Goliath says, amazing. Good luck on the dream, Key. Well, that is absolutely what it is. It's a dream. It's a dream. And we said a year ago, me and my wife, I said, do you know what? Why don't we just pack it all in? We'll we'll quit our jobs. We'll sell everything we've got. And we'll try this. Let's try our dream. Whatever our dream jobs would be. She's doing hers. I'm doing mine. Let's do our dream job for 12 months and see what happens. See where we get to. If it doesn't work, we'll jack it in. We'll go and get jobs again. It's fine. Ben says, what's your opinion on what Frank said about the Spurs fans? What about him not being proper Spurs fans for booing Vicario? I'd agree with him. You can't boo a player like that. Listen, they're called supporters for a reason. That doesn't mean you're not entitled to voice your opinion, but it also doesn't mean you're entitled to be a prick either. And I think if a player's going through a bad run of form, that's generally when they need support more than ever. I think Vicario's been a pretty good keeper for Spurs for the most part, and he's made a couple of mistakes. He's made a big mistake in that one. Keepers make mistakes. I mean, it happens. Sometimes you've got to give them a bit of stick when you feel like they're not putting the effort in. Sometimes you've got to let them know, but I don't think that's the case with Vicario. I think I would tend to agree with Thomas Frank that you can't really speak like that with your goalkeeper. You shouldn't be booing him like that anyway. Goliath says, you said 2 years, right? Just one. So, yeah, if I'm still here towards the end of the season, chances are it's going all right. Right, I am off though. I am off for the night. I'm going to watch Everton Bournemouth tomorrow. I'll be live for that, and I'll be live on Wednesday for Liverpool Sunderland. I'll be back live for the Championship for Hull against Middlesbrough. So if you like watching football, like I said, Championship football, Premier League football, Champions League, any of the big European games, League One, National League, we watch everyone on this channel. I do at least one game every day. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. So give us a like, give us a follow, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family, all that good stuff. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you everyone in the chat. And I'll see you all soon. Take care.